It all started the day I went through the polytunnel. I don't know what possessed me to even go near that thing. As far back as I can remember, no one's ever been inside and come back out alive. But I just couldn't help myself. I had to know what was on the other side. The first thing I noticed was a considerable increase in bodily mass. I seem to have acquired the physicality and biological makeup of a human being, with some remnants of my rabbit DNA remaining intact. Yes, this was going to take some getting used to. How could things get any more bizarre? Be afraid. Be very afraid. From what I can make out, this place is either some sort of forced labour camp or an institution for the emotionally unhinged. Either way, it's clearly the lunatics who run this asylum. My humanoid physique has allowed me to infiltrate the community without arousing suspicion. I'm able to pass myself off as an inmate by lazing around all day waiting for a bell to ring, and then engaging in whatever pointless and degrading activity the overseers have devised for their amusement. Sometimes my residual rodent DNA makes some of the activities rather challenging. But so far, no one suspects a thing. Early on, I noticed the signs of something rather more sinister going on in this place. They have an almost fanatical devotion to the monsters they euphemistically refer to as rodent reduction units. I strongly suspect that these people pose a genuine threat to my species, and therefore I have taken this upon myself to learn as much as I can about them so that I may undermine their genocidal intentions. The inmates are kept in a state of constant terror, reinforced each morning by the dreaded jobs list.
So, listen out, please. Today, laying tables, please, Anthony. Clearing tables, Eve. Breakfast washing up, Lewis. Now, dusting the car park, please, Liz and Rachel and Owen and Hannah. Crack team for dusting the car park. George, could you count the biscuits, please? Testing the light switches. Julia, would you do that for us today, please? Oiling the clapper. Tom.
The importance of regular specialist bell maintenance cannot be overstated. Perhaps the most important procedure is oiling of the clapper. Now, the coefficient of friction of all components of the clapper should be kept below a threshold value of 0.63. Now, if this value is exceeded, the sonorous properties of the bell can be severely degraded, and this can have a range of consequences from simple disruption of auras right through to full-blown community meltdown. So there's nothing I like more than a well-oiled clapper.
Hoovering the grass. Jane, could you do that, please? Combing the bees, Alex. Measuring the toilet rolls, Hannah. Ironing the cabbage leaves, Kate. I've got one here for a volunteer. Anybody up for washing and ironing the orange clothes? And finally, in case anybody was feeling left out at all, hugging the trees, everybody. Now, I hope you remember which tree is yours, because I can assure you they certainly remember you.
I've been put on veg prep with these clowns, and I'm taking this opportunity to carry out my first act of sabotage by adding some special ingredients to the carrot and raisin salad.
I know a good idea!
I looked him up.
If you're not yet fully convinced of the decadent barbarity of these people, then allow me to give you a tour of the room they call the quiet area. It was all going so well. My acts of sabotage were subtle but effective, and I was managing to destroy one monster idol per day without arousing suspicion. Already I could feel the wicked foundations of this rodent-hating cult beginning to crumble. But alas, all it took was a single act of carelessness on my part while bathing for my cover to be blown and my plans cut short.
The normal routine of Othona is under threat from this invasion. The ideals of liberty, equality and brotherhood, in order to ensure the survival of the weakest as well as the strongest, may be stolen by the rabbit and taken back to the rabbit world outside. The man-made rabbit extermination disease of World War II, myxomatosis, must be reinvented in order to hold back the invasion and potential invasion of further rabbits and preserve the human way of life. We must uncover the existence of the rabbit and reveal its potential threat so that the spirit of Othona can continue to thrive amongst humankind.
Naturally, I didn't stick around to witness the wrath of the community, so I hastily made my way back to the polytunnel to return to my previous life as a plain old rabbit. Before leaving, however, I committed one last act of sabotage which I am certain will be fatal. That's right, I swallowed the clapper. A community that is structured around an antiquated Pavlovian system of stimulus and response cannot operate without a fully functioning bell. Therefore, full community meltdown is imminent and the Rabbit Kingdom is safe once more.
Hey, take those masks off. Come here. I thought I told you to wait for me.
What do you mean? I had to come.
What is it? What's wrong, sister?
Don't be frightened. Go. My name is Edward. I'm gonna save you. This is murder! Murder! be guilty! And you're doing it for nothing! Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey!